that Kara? How you doing, Kara? Haley Beth. What's happening, Haley Beth? How are you, love? Good to see you. Good to see you. We will get you up here shortly. What is it set up in right now? Okay, like that. I see you, Haley. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. I moved everything around, so I'm trying to get it all situated again. Guitar guy, what is up, man? How are you? There's Laura Jane Art, one of my favorite people on the planet. How you doing, Laura? I'm sorry you're under the weather. I hope that you're feeling better. It's probably going to be a few days. I was lucky enough that the whole medicine and time thing helped. Alive. Heard that, Laura. Heard that. There is that Ash man from Glendale, the most basic dude you ever want to see. And there's Mr. Casserole. What is up, man? Let's see if we can grab up Haley Beth. She's going to be excited. Ash man, I can see you.
How's it going, man?
What?
I can hear you.
I have a little something that I'm wearing for the featured artist made for me.
Right on. Very cool. Very cool.
Trouble made this for me.
Yes, I remember. That is awesome. Thank you for the follow. We follow back after the show. Hi, guys. I started just a little bit early to try to make sure everything was working because I've been using the studios thing and I wasn't using this, so I wanted to make sure that, we had something that worked. What's happening? How you doing? See, it's so good to see you. So, Haley Beth, we got somebody on tonight that you're friends with that you like. Thank you, Cecil.
That I met in him in person.
Well, I was going to say, maybe you can tell us a little bit about that after your introduction. After you get done with your introduction, we'll switch gears. But instead of dropping you right down, we're going to hold on to you today for just a minute. And you can tell us about the time you got to meet Trouble. How about that? And then we're going to send you to the gate after that.
Got to.
All right. Did you notice about anything about my attire, Haley?
Ash's new merch.
This is also the cat that's going to be on his line of guitars.
Oh, yeah. The sneaky cat.
Sneaky cat.
Okay.
Cool, huh? All right, you ready, Haley? It seems like you might be ready to start the show. Ash, I think she's ready for her to start the show. Okay, Haley, 1, 2, 3, get them.
Hi, welcome to the Ginn Project Show. My name is Haley Beth, and I'm the owner of Haley Dot. I'm a diamond dot artist. I have a show every Friday night at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight, the featured artist is not only but my friend, Trouble.
Trouble? It figures that you would be friends with a guy named Trouble. That makes a lot of sense, Haley.
I was...
I'm teasing with you. What do you mean? So, Haley, my understanding is, now I've gotten to see Trouble's rings in person, and they're really cool. They're actually beautiful. And he does some cool stuff. He kind of lets some of the audience sometimes pick the names or the colors that he's going to do or whatever. But Haley, if I understand correctly, you met Trouble himself in person.
I met Trouble February 15th, 2024.
That's the day after Valentine's Day, the day after my anniversary.
And I got to sing to karaoke.
Wait a minute now. You did karaoke with Trouble?
Wow.
Where's the video? I want to see this video footage. Where's it at, Haley?
But yeah, Trouble. I don't have the video right now, but and you guys, and then I have a challenge for you guys. This by Friday, it's World CP Awareness Month, so I want you guys to draw or paint a butterfly. Ginn reminded me, I was like, I saw a light bulb behind it. Oh, and then, so, if anybody, you can message me and I'll give you my business email address.
Haley, so is there a particular color butterfly you would like that represents CP month?
Green.
You know how like autism has the rainbow?
Green.
What is
Green.
Green?
Mm-hmm.
Is that light green or dark green or lime
Whatever
green?
color.
Any kind of green?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're asking people to do is to do artwork of green butterflies for CP Awareness Month. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You got it, guys. Go make it happen.
I forgot
green butterflies, send them to Haley. Send them to Haley. Haley, where are they sending these green butterflies?
Haley.diamondart at mail.com.
At that place with the G in front of it? Okay. OG, the G place?
The G place.
So tell us one more time, Haley. Where do they send them?
Haley.diamondart at gmail.com.
Green butterflies, y'all. For CP Awareness Month.
I saw a light bulb on Ginn's head. I'm like, I should do this before.
Good job, Haley. Good job. Well, tell us about the time that you met Trouble.
I met Trouble. I'm gonna rag you. Trouble wanted to take me out for pizza. I said, no trouble. No trouble. Right, Trouble? If you believe me, put a purple heart in the chat if you think it's right.
Haley, why don't you like pizza?
I do.
Okay. You like pizza. Trouble likes pizza. Did y'all have pizza?
No. We were in my room and he was like, we were doing karaoke and it was really fun.
Y'all did karaoke? Yeah, I'm feeling this, Trouble. I'm feeling this. Like she wouldn't eat. I know that she likes pizza. Hey, TRULIE. I'm not allowed to say your name, TRULIE, or I get a hate speech violation. So
I'll give it.
Haley, hold on. Remember, we take our turns. Goopy Goop, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in, Goopy Goop. Haley, so TRULIE, would you please say that person's name?
Truly.
Yes. See, when I say it with a country accent, it sounds like something different and AI freaks out. So, Haley, would you please say hi to that person again for me?
I know Truly. Truly's one of my...
Would you please tell her I said hi?
Truly, Ginn said hi to you.
It's good to see you. I'm not allowed to say your name. All right, everybody.
I better see but if you want Trouble to get up here, you better throw me
out. Get out of here, Haley. Good job today. Good job on your intro. Good job on telling your story. Somebody kick her out of here. Good job, Haley. Now go on, get Haley. Truly, I know they explained it to me. It's because AI detects it as, and I had to be careful where I said that really fast like that. When I have a southern drawl, it thinks I'm saying another word that is disparaging towards a certain group of people among us, which I certainly would never want to do. Anyway, I can't say it on here, or obviously I get in trouble. But it thinks that when I'm saying your name, there's another person with a similar name that it thinks the same thing. And Ezra's up there going, "Yeah, don't say her name again. Don't say her name again." Right now, I got a message about it. Be careful, please, Ginn.
The eye in the sky.
Oh, yes. It's because I have a southern drawl. Trulie, and I kind of it sounds like a different word. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have the man of the hour here with us now. We're going to put him on the big screen. For those of you that don't know, this is Ashman from Glendale, and he created Sneaky Cat. This is one of his creations. I'm excited to get this, y'all. This is also the cat that is representing his line of guitars. This cat will be found somewhere on all of the guitars that he is doing. So I think it's amazing. And I also got another one just for funsies, y'all, and I'll wear this some other time. But here's another bit of his stuff. This is a zombie cupcake what has thrown up a candy corn, and it looks like some Jelly Bellies or something like that.
Some gumdrops.
What is it, Ash? Gumdrops. I'm sorry, gumdrops. He's done thrown up a candy corn and some gumdrops. So maybe because he's a zombie. But so we got to be careful what we say here, but Ashman has some great stuff. Look at that. Sneaky Cat hat. Come on. I would also like to formally announce today I think he's sending me a certificate that I was actually the very first person. Yes, Eve, I was the first person to sign up to his cult.
Yes.
So I am a founding member of Ashman's Basic Cult. He also has some Ashman Basic Cult stuff. Check it out, y'all. Wait, he's about to unmirror himself.
There we go.
Y'all. So I would encourage everyone to contact Ashman and to sign up to be a part of his cult. I will be rocking one of his cult hats soon. As you can see, I got the crazy Sneaky Cat going on. I love it. So Ashman, if you would, man, would you please tell us a little bit about all this new stuff you got coming out, or that is out and available now, where people can find it, what you've been up to, how's it been going, what you're going to talk to us about in your segment tonight. And if I have my way, pretty soon it's going to be called the Ashman Show.
What he said, everything he said is what I'm up to. No, I've been doing a lot of stuff with the merch. You can find it in my Profili, if you get that. And the Linky Wink plant thing, you know what it is. It's all code, but you know what it is. And, I've got the Sneaky Cat design, which is going on Ginn's line of guitars, which is going to be really freaking cool. And I'll show you. I got one that
he's got a guitar,
on, so I didn't destroy one again. There's a Sneaky Cat.
That is so awesome, amazing, man, amazing. Look at the footprints, y'all. So cool.
And this is going to be on the back of every Ginn guitar.
Yo, look at that, y'all.
It's going to be a little surprise. only for the player. The player will know, and nobody else will.
Hey, Pastor Nate.
So
I love
that's
it.
going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get my hands on one of your guitars. and
Me
work
too,
on it.
man. It's
I
it's
can't
it's
wait.
it's right there. It's right
It
there.
is. It's right there.
It's right there.
So I'm really excited about that. That's going to happen soon. And we're figuring out everything for that. So that'll be really cool. And there'll also be merch attached to that stuff too that you can get through this man now that I'm married. So that'll be fun. And that's all further down the line, but for right now we're just getting ready to work on all of these, and that'll be amazing. And I'm also doing a podcast every Wednesday with Eve's Artistry. Now it is 3:00 Arizona time because we had that little change, and 6:00 Eastern time. It stays the
3
same.
hours difference again.
3 hours difference again. So yeah, I'm coming to you from 6:00. So that's kind of different. But
And we're in the
yeah.
future.
Yes, you are. I've got a ways to catch up.
So so what time do the folks get to see you on Wednesdays now?
3:00 Arizona time and 6:00 Eastern time. And it's me and Eve's Artistry, and we always talk about something interesting. So for about an hour.
Yes, and it's I don't know the right terminology. I don't want to say niche. Is that right? You find these little areas that kind of are ubiquitous, that kind of go that expand into other parts of our lives in a weird way.
Oh, yeah.
And have a discussion about how it impacts. I think the discussion last week was on courage.
Yes.
And-
design courage.
And while I was listening to you guys, I was remembering my younger years and what alcohol used to do to people's courage. And the irony behind the fact that these dudes would get blistered and then try to fight. And
Oh, yeah.
alcohol messes up your coordination.
A little bit.
So anyway, that was it was a much more in-depth conversation than that, but that's what was going through my head when y'all were talking. Part of the time was I remember some cats that they'd get on that liquid courage. That's right, Eve. They'd get on that liquid courage and run across somebody that wasn't on that liquid courage, and it did not go well. So you also after you get done with the podcast, you kind of loosen things up a little bit and cut up and kind of chat with folks and that kind of thing. I've even seen you occasionally bring somebody up or have a comment or whatever. So at any rate, man. So that's on Wednesday nights at 3:00 Arizona time, 6:00 Eastern time. I think you got to turn your notifications on for this man, though, because he's been doing some lives. We've been doing some studio live. We've been figuring some stuff out on that. So we'll be bringing you our live content a little differently, more than one camera angle. And soon I'm going to be able to drop some scenes in there of some of you guys. So we've been working on that kind of stuff too. And as we figure it out, we'll share it with everybody out there, anybody that's interested in doing the same thing. We also got some Ginn Project stuff coming out. Rachel's been working. She's got some designs for Ginn Project Show merch, which we've never had. And we've also got some other things. I am now a professional forger. Oh, thank you for that. I'm now a professional forger, and we have sticker packs available of my forgeries of Ashman's art. And I'm currently, this is a sneak peek for y'all that are kind enough to come support the show. I am currently working on one. I'm going to be forging Kira Wilson art. And that is not easy. Kira's pretty good artist. So is Ashman. Fortunately, Ashman draws some things that have some lines in it that my brain will identify. Kira, on the other hand, does not use that strategy. So here's one of Kira's.
Amazing.
And here's my version of it.
Amazing.
So you might notice that Kira's is very angry, and mine is slightly annoyed.
He's miffed.
He's miffed. Spike is awesome. So yeah, we've been working on some stuff. Rachel's really put a lot of work into that.
Oh yeah.
So has Laura behind the scenes. So I wanted to say a special thank you to Kira, to Laura, and to Rachel. For those that don't know, those are actually the ladies that make this show happen. Me and Ash show up and try to hit our marks and do what we're told. But for the most part, those ladies make it all happen. MC, good to see you. Good to see you. So as a thank you for helping me so much, I am now forging Kira's art too. and I was able to do so in a way that surprised Kira. The old man who can't answer an email managed to steal her art.
Oh yeah.
I got tricks. So look for some of that stuff coming out soon for the Ginn Project show itself. And then of course you can get, hats and that kind of thing over at my pro file. And there's a inky winky linky thing in there that you can go to, and in the very top of it you can find all that stuff. So if you dig what we do and you'd like to support us in some small way or large way, that's the way to do it. There's stickers and hats and stuff like that. So Ezra also a few minutes ago said he said so far we hadn't violated anything, by the way,
nice.
In the way that we're using our words, which is good. But he is the second one in line. He said please sign him up for the Ashman's Basic Cult. Ezra, I would encourage you to go to his spot. He has all kinds of things available. If you wanted to, you could just order a whole bundle of them and just send them out to folks, Ezra. I'm kidding, man. I'm totally kidding. And that's how you put your friend on the spot.
Send it out with packets of Flavor Aid.
Yes, Kira. Well, Kira, right now, I went to Ashman's Basic Art store, and that's followed by the G-Funk thing with the mail behind it. And I was able to pick these up. He has the shirts, the hats. I'm not sure. Are there stickers of the Sneaky Cat available?
Not yet. I was going
Not
to
yet.
Probably do that stuff through a certain person we know. So
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Cool. That's even cooler. All right. So that's all the news from Lake Will Be Gone, all the things that we've kind of been working on. I'd also like to say thank you to all the folks out there, the Flutterbys of the world. Oh, yeah. Ezra from Volta. Ezra is Volta, by the way. It's the same dude, for those that don't know. What's up, Mama T? So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that worked so hard. And I would like to take a little time right here. I really had an interesting conversation with Trouble, our guest tonight. I've really been looking forward to getting Trouble on. And he's one of those guys that are prototypical of who could use the extra attention, you might say. He works, you know what I mean? Art is like a release, and whatever he can make doing his art is a supplement or helps his main gig. And of course, I bet if you held him at threat, he would probably tell you if he could just do art and only do art and not have to do the other things, he'd probably go that direction. So a lot of the people that are on it isn't necessarily that they're new artists per se. Some of them are professionals in other things, and they're also artists. And I think there's room for people that, let me rephrase it. I think we want to try to help make room for people in that category of folks, because the more Trouble is able to do art, I would argue the better the world is, right? Haley Beth showed us the ring that he made for her, and I remember how excited she still to this day was excited to announce him, right? Like we were I was teasing with her about whether or not she was going to announce him, but you know, he is the prototype for why a community should rally together and help someone. You know, we have people on each week, and you know, I really love the fact that, say, like, we had Rick the Muse on, right?
Yeah.
And I love Rick. Rick's a great dude. And Rick does interviews. And Rick's interviews are more laid back, right? It's a different purpose. Our interviews, I talked to Trouble yesterday for a couple hours to set up his show, to make sure I understood what he wanted to talk about, how he wanted to present himself. Believe it or not, every week we interview people, and sometimes they have haters. And what we do as a group is, if someone that is going to be our guest has problem folks, we block them for the term of the show. And sometimes that rubs people the wrong way, but we always protect the guest. It's not personal. If you have a problem with our guest, then why would you come to the show anyway? Right? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So, at any rate, there's kind of a bigger picture at play. And the other thing that we're trying to do over here is, with the imagery on the walls and the way that we do our lives, we try to be able to repeat these folks throughout our time on social media. So it does help a whole lot to just show up for the hour or two that we do the show and support whoever the guest might be. But more importantly, even more important than that, is to continue to support them after they leave the show. Part of the reason for bringing them on is to try to get the community to be supportive of them as well, right? Our small community, or our little portion of it anyway, hopefully sometimes by us saying, hey, this person is really doing some cool stuff, other people might start saying the same thing, and then we all kind of lift each other up. So I would just say that I am absolutely thrilled that Rick is out there doing interviews in the style that he does. And I'm absolutely thrilled that Mr. Coleman is out there doing interviews in the style that he does. And I think it is absolutely amazing of Ashman and Kira and Laura and Rachel and Severed and Spurs and Samantha the Starving Artist and all of those people that show up behind the scenes to make this show happen, to make our lives happen, and frankly, to help make events happen for artists, or to at least show up for those events. And that's the next evolution, right? I have actually seen Ashman get on a plane and fly to S.A.'s events. I've seen Eve get on a plane and fly to S.A.'s events. And I neglected to mention Eve's name a minute ago, but Eve is an example of one of those people. She is one of the 4 people who has her own line of guitars. She's in all of the meetings that she is able to attend. And her voice is an important voice in that mixture. But that's the difference, is there's a team of like 8 people that get behind you and try to support you. And I just wanted to say a couple words about that, because I don't know that people know that. I don't know that they realize that me and Ash come on here and do the talky talk part. And yes, it was originally my concept to do interviews. And so it's called the Ginn Project Show, because that's what we named it at the very beginning. But ultimately, Kira and Ash and Laura and Rachel and all of those other folks have as much say in it as I have, in how we do things. Ultimately, it's my responsibility. It falls on me, and I have the final say. But if I say and do things that they don't like, they wouldn't be around for long helping. So, like, I don't have just carte blanche to act any kind of way. Anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge all of those people, and there are more. There are many more. There are mods that come in and help out all the time that never get credit. But these are folks that show up day after day. They don't get credit. In fact, most of them just get hate or just get aggravation for doing this stuff. But it's worth it, and I thank you anyway. Moose is another one of those dudes out there trying to do something good. Chipster, there's Chipster, Mama Tegan, good to see y'all. So Ash, man, before we bring trouble up, I've been rambling on, man, but you have any thoughts on what I was saying there, man? Call me out, man. If what I described as the experience of the Ginn Project Show is not accurate, you can call me out, and the guy we're bringing up here in a minute to be able to call me out too.
I think it's absolutely correct how you just said all that. Might I say also Stitch? She's one of those ones that show up.
See, I'm always forgetting somebody. Damn it.
Oh, it's okay. You know, they all know. They all know
You're right.
that they show up and everything. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where the community is a big deal, and they help us out a lot. And like you said, like Laura and Rachel, and all the ones that show up, they get it done. And half the time, I'm really leaning on Laura to help me out. HR is an important part of my lives, because it tells me to get up, tells me to walk around a little bit, tells me where my stuff's at. tells me
literally
tells me what's going on, because sometimes I miss things. So a very important aspect of what we do here. And I don't know, I don't think I could do it without them. And Spurs is another one that's
Spurs,
fantastic. She's always a good shield. Going into a live, just goes out to the front and blocks everybody that needs blocking.
And guys like Mondo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mondo's
out there doing his thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
man. Just making the world better. That's what he does. Man. Mondo just wanders around and sprinkles betterness on the world.
Right.
So right on. So you are forced to be here under contract. It's all voluntary, guys. They all do it just because they're good people. That's the thing. I could sum all of that up in just a few minutes, in just a few words, which is they help out because they're good people. That's what they do. And it's awesome seeing this big group of people do what you do. All right, man. So here's what we're gonna do. If we would, how do y'all like the show with Ashman in the big box the whole time? I like this. I like this. This is great. I managed to do that 2 weeks in a row. So if y'all would, please send up Trouble. Very much like to talk to him. There he is, right there. We're going to check out his mic. We're going to check out his camera, make sure everything's working properly. And then we're going to move him over into the big box. Last week we had to drop him down and bring back up because there was an echo. So let's see what we got this week. Hey, Chad.
You can probably hear me, I hope.
We can hear you. We absolutely can hear you. There he is. And we can see you. All right. So let's migrate. Oh, thank you, man.
Whoa,
you don't have to do that, Ezra. Thank you, man. Let's migrate Trouble over there into the big bite. Now, look, man, your name says it all. You're a real pain in the ass. You know that?
I am. I'm not going to deny that.
No, man. Welcome on the show. It's been a minute, man. We've been wanting to have you on for quite some time. As you know, man, there's a long list, and trying to make it all work out sometimes is challenging. But a lot of people out there. Oh man, it's our honor to have you on, man. And there's a lot of people out there that absolutely love you, including our MC, the person that introduces the folks today, and she Man, she was beside herself that you were going to be on. I don't know if you saw her. I think you did, but she was showing her your ring off that you had made for her, and she was talking about when y'all got to meet in person and do. I know you were there for that part and do the karaoke there. So, thank you for coming on, man. It's good to see you. I really enjoyed our conversation yesterday. I wasn't as aware of the karaoke stuff as the rings and the other things. So I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit about that today. Welcome to the show. For those that don't know, he also goes by Clinton Hackett, and it like almost makes me have an anxiety attack saying your real name because I spend so much time trying not to say I'll know people's real names because I'll talk to them, and I don't ever want to give their real name up on the show, or when I'm talking in one of my lives. So I always just use their handle. So it feels like I'm selling you out by saying your real name. So Trouble, welcome on, man. If you want, real quick, there's some folks in here that are happy to see you on, man. If you wanted to shout them out real quick at the beginning.
Yeah, it's good to see Mama T and Betty Jean and others I've seen crawl through here. I've got so many good friends. It's just amazing. And truly, he's a truly good friend of mine. Very, very awesome. So
I'm not allowed to say that name. Trulie. You're a great person, though.
And Dragon Warrior, how you doing? That's awesome. Been a while. Anyway.
So you got a kind of a different start to your art career. You can take us all the way back to the egg when you were hatched and tell us a little bit about where you came from and who you are.
You know, me and a bunch of others just racing to that egg. So that was quite a deal there. That's one of my first memories. And
Well, we have something in common. You weren't rich coming up. Something we didn't have in common, though. You had quite a few other troubles, siblings running around.
9 of us kids. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a baseball team. That's a baseball team.
Yeah, it is. My mom was left hanging with 9 of us kids the day that she had our youngest sister. When my youngest sister was born, my dad left us, and she raised us by herself and didn't remarry. She raised us by herself. It was rough. We had some rough times, but I think it built character.
Oh yeah.
So.
I bet. Tough beginnings, had to kind of make it, and but then one day you're cleaning. If I understood correctly, you were helping clean up a duck call factory that had a fire. We're talking about duck call, like duck hunters would use. Yeah. I actually have a crow call that I've had for 30 years. Because I went to LSU, and one of my closest friends is from bio country, and when we're down in the bio, the way we communicate is with a crow call. Because everybody down there has duck calls, so we would use a crow call so we could distinguish each other. I still have it in my bug out bag, but So, and it's a multicolored, like it's these kind of woods you were talking about. But so you're working and you're at this place that makes duck calls, and you end up bringing home a few burnt pieces of these exotic woods that they were using to make the duck calls with, and you gave them to one of your sons.
My youngest son, Tucker, yeah.
And that is the genesis of your art career.
Yes, it is, yes. I thought he'd make like a piece of like a chest cut, a piece of chest piece or something. And when I got home, he handed me this ring that was made out of, I think it was made out of Coca-Cola. if I'm not mistaken. It was really pretty. Kind of rough looking, but I thought it was pretty. And I thought, man, I want to try that. So I started carving. I started out using a Dremel to make it, and that was pretty rough because you burn your fingers trying to.
Oh yeah, man, I can
Oh, yeah.
imagine. How did he make his? Did he use a Dremel or did he carve his? Or I'm just curious how he made it.
I think he got a hold of my Dremel.
I got you.
He got a hold of my
I got you.
tools. You know,
Right.
at least I didn't find it out in the woods like I normally do. But I mean,
Right. I understand. I have two younger brothers. They're not the way I am about keeping up with stuff.
no, they're not. They didn't work hard for that piece of tool there, and they're like, well, I can get another one.
Right.
So it's all right.
So you started making rings. That's how it started. That's how you're what
Yeah.
time frame was this? How long ago was this?
Well, that's a good question. It was at least 7 years ago. It was
Gotcha.
about 7 years ago. And it was kind of interesting process because I didn't realize that a lot of the exotic wood has a lot of toxic properties to them. And,
Yes.
and I was breathing in that wood, and it was slowly poisoning me.
Yeah.
And it got to where I couldn't even go into the shop without it attacking my kidneys. And so I quit for like 2 years. I quit doing it. And I missed it so much, I started doing research on which woods were, let's say, food safe. What
Yeah.
kind of woods are food safe? Maple was like one of the best woods you can use.
Yep.
And I love
Maple,
maple.
birch.
And I discovered that I could take cactus juice and dye
Yep.
and infuse it. You probably know the process.
I use cactus juice for making knife scales.
Yeah, and I've got a couple pieces here I can show you that I did.
And that stuff's real cheap, isn't it?
Nope.
I know.
So what he's talking about, y'all, cactus juice is it's like it's a really thin and it's heat activates it. There you go. But tell them about the process, man. Tell them what's going on there. Cactus juice is an epoxy, but it dries by heat, and you actually vacuum soak your items.
Yeah.
Tell them a little bit. It's so cool, man. I love that you do it this way because, like I was saying, I had to learn to do this because I worked with blacksmiths in the past a lot, and I would use some of the pieces of wood that I had that was a little more punky or something, and I could stabilize it using this process, and then they could use them on the handles for knives or other kinds of weapons. Anyway.
Yeah, actually, the cactus juice comes from the prickly pear cactus, and you can actually drink that stuff. They actually have drinks that are made out of the prickly pear. But what I do is I add dye to it, so I've got all different colors, and I've come up with some really amazing stuff. And I could show a few pieces.
It literally says stabilizing resin on it.
Nice. I've got like 3 prickly pear cactus in the backyard, and they are one of those things that you can eat. You can make tea out of. You can make all kinds of stuff out of it. You can also eat the pads. So they're amazing plants.
That's one of the reasons I use it is because it was one of the more environmentally friendly options.
Right.
Okay. Here's what I got. I've got some different colors that I come up with. I've got black. This is all maple.
Hey, Jerry.
And it has lines in it, which turns out really awesome in the ring. Like there's another piece of black.
Yes.
And then
It really highlights the grain. It really makes the grain pop.
Yeah. And there's some purple and green.
And those are all pieces of maple.
Yeah.
And you have to do those individually in vacuum pots, right? Because each color has got to be its own thing.
And I actually made blocks
Hey, Jerry.
like this here. I glued them all together
Yeah.
and cut pieces out of them, like that there. And so those is how I get what I call the case of raw rings, because whatever will be,
Oh,
will
they're
be.
beautiful,
So it turns
man.
out just
Nice.
It's so
yeah,
pretty,
probably.
man. They're beautiful. So these rings, y'all, are made out of wood, but this process of using cactus juice stabilizes them the same way you would stabilize a knife handle or something, meaning it makes it a lot more difficult, much more durable. It'll hold its color. It'll hold its color, and it makes the wood much, much stronger because you actually put the wood, you submerge it in this cactus juice in a container that you can put under vacuum. You use I have a little 1-horse vacuum pump that has a little tube that hooks to the top of what looks like a crock pot. And the way I do it, and maybe Trouble does it differently, but there it is right there. The way I do it is whatever wood I put in there, you put it under vacuum until it stops bubbling. And the bubbling is the air being replaced by the fluid in the wood, right? When it stops bubbling, whatever amount of time that was, you turn off the vacuum and then you let it soak for that amount of time. And then you take it out and it's infused. Is that, and then you put it in a little toaster oven and you cook it at a low temperature for like 20 or 20, I can't remember. It's been a couple of years since I've had to do any, but 20-ish minutes, and then it's done.
I cook it for about 4 hours at 220, I think it is.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, you probably got a whole different thing you got to do there, but yeah. So then you bake it for however long for your purposes, and then that is a durable. It's almost, it holds all the qualities of wood, but it starts to react more like it's infused with plastic or rubber or something.
Yeah, it's the nice thing about the rings that I make, the wooden ones, is the fact that a lot of people are afraid to wear rings because they could get caught on something and pull their finger off or just slide them off.
Yep. Deglove.
That's why I wear the silicone.
Yeah, but the nice thing about it is this ring will break before it'll pull your finger off.
Oh, nice.
And you can always get another one.
Right on.
So that's a plus. I mean,
yes.
I'm not going to tell you that it'll never break because you'll want it to break if it's under stress. So that's my friend Bonjali. I'm going to make a shout out to her. She's been such a good friend of mine. She's helped me through so much. So
welcome. Hello,
she
Bonjoli.
encouraged me to go live for the first time.
Right on. Well, thank you for doing that, Bonjoli. Bonjoli, is that right?
Bonjali, yeah.
Bonjali.
I think I'm saying it right.
Right on. Hey, Brush, what's up, man? So I love the rings, man. I got to see them in person one time on a trip I was on, and I know Haley is super excited, and I've talked to other people who have ended up with your rings. Super cool, man. And it started as you just thought these pieces of wood were groovy, which is kind of, the Ginn Project started, a guy called me and asked me to help him take down a barn. And we just thought the wood was cool and they were going to burn the barn down. So we went and got the wood, and that's how it all started. Oh
yeah, you tell me that was pretty cool.
It's crazy, yeah. So in this instance, your son makes a ring, and you start making rings. And it became a way for you to cope mentally with some of the things that you've been through in your life. You've been through some things.
Yes, some marital problems. It's just I was having a really hard time, and I would escape. I'd go out to the shop. And I know there's a lot of people that go through the same sort of thing I do. And I was literally feeling like I was a problem and that I wasn't worth anything. And I got to where I started going live on TikTok, and I met Bonjali. She's actually the one that got me to do that. And then I met so many good
Ash, did he freeze for you? He
Yeah,
froze
he
for me. I
froze.
don't want to interrupt him, but he froze
If
for
you
me.
have the right attitude and you have a good heart, I feel like you'll find the right people that'll help you stand. And that's what happened to me. And I realized that I wasn't really the problem. And I eventually came down to Florida to visit my aunt. And
Hey, I'm
wound
very
up
sorry to
staying here. And
Trouble. I'm sorry to interrupt you, buddy. Ash, do you have him back? We lost you for a minute, man.
I have
We
him
lost your feed for a minute. You have him back?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure we had you back, Trouble, before you went too far.
all right.
We got you back.
Yeah,
You just
it's
glitched
my-
for a second there, and I was afraid people were missing your story. You're good. We got you
Yeah,
back now, though. You're good.
Okay, maybe that'll help a little bit. Yeah, was having marital problems. Wasn't getting along with my wife, and a lot of people on TikTok was, you become family with them. You really do, and it meant a lot to me. And I've become friends with people who were going through the same thing I did, and I was able to be an encouragement to them, I feel, and they've told me so. And I think that I think TikTok's a good thing if you do it right. So, and I did some trading with a few of my friends on TikTok as far as instead of just asking for money. I love their art and I wanted their art and they love my jewelry. So we did trades. And I know that you guys do that too. And I'd like to show some of the stuff that people sent me. You were talking about,
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
what's his name? Yeah.
Mondo?
Anyway, cookies is one
Bob
of
Not So Ross. Mondo.
Yeah, Mondo. Yeah. Yeah, that's Mondo. Yeah, I love that guy. He's awesome.
Oh yeah.
But here is a piece
He
that he
is.
sent me. I am a fan of Star Wars, and he created this here, and this is
Look at that.
Darth Bane and Darth Xana practicing, and
Oh, man.
I asked him to do that scene, and he did that. That was just awesome.
That's
and
amazing.
he
And I've
even-
never seen that. That's
He
cool.
sent me the sketch of it too, to start with.
Nice.
Right on.
I've always loved
he
the
also
sketches
sent me
more
that.
than the finished product.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
He sent that to me also.
Look at that
Oh, that's
one.
great.
That's awesome. That is fantastic, man.
And you know cookies, right?
Oh,
Who don't know cookies?
I
I mean, if you
I
see
don't-
this artwork, you probably
Oh,
don't know what I'm
Kooky.
talking
You said
about.
Kooky. Yes, I actually have that artwork on the wall
yeah.
behind me. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, really?
yeah. The
But she
the
said
fox
she
or
did
the
this for me.
right there.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
the,
awesome, man. The raven and the wolf are.
And yeah, now you probably don't have this one, because this one is
No.
a personal one.
That's
We
cool.
came up with the design together, and she actually has a medallion on a necklace that has that on it. And on the other side, it has this. And she wears that every once in a while.
That's very
So
cool.
yeah, her and I are really close. We're really good friends. And
Right on. She
And
is
yeah,
from
that-
my favorite city on the planet. I used to spend a lot of time in
Really?
Utrecht when I was stationed in Germany. Yep, she is actually from a city that is my favorite. She was shocked that I knew where she was from.
does anybody know the painting DJ here?
Yes,
yeah.
Burgess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he made
did
some.
this one
He's
for
been
me.
a guest on, and he made some guest appearances on the show too. Some 10-minute appearances.
Nice. Yeah, he did this one for me. I traded out some jewelry for this. This is Obi-Wan with my face.
That's awesome. Here's his prints that he sent.
Oh man, I love that. That is
Isn't that
awesome.
great?
But yeah, Burgess and Chandler are some of my best friends here on TikTok too. I miss them. They haven't been going live like they used to.
Yeah, I
But,
don't see
I-
him anymore.
Yeah, I love those guys. They're just awesome.
Yeah,
So-
Burgess would make appearances on the show sometimes. He made
Right.
he even made like promotional materials and stuff for the show. Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, and that's something I love. Star Wars. That's just, you know, the funny thing is I wasn't really into Star Wars that much until I listened to the trilogy of Darth Bane, and then I was all over it. It was over for me. I love Star Wars. We kind of got forced. So,
Well,
but,
so you've moved around a little bit. You from Colorado. You lived in Cali, Washington, Arkansas, Florida. So tell us a little bit about your journey, man. Tell us who Trouble is. What how'd you get where you're at?
well, let's see. Back in '86, I took a trip to work with my uncle in Mississippi. That was the first time I got away from Colorado. And then after that, the next summer, I moved out to California to work for my dad. And that was kind of rough because it wasn't him and his wife or his girlfriend would argue every night, and it was hard to sleep. So my brother and I, we wound up staying out in a little camper shell just so we didn't have to listen to it. And we stayed with him till we could get on our own feet. And we wound up working together, my brother and I. He was 16 and I was 18, and we were out standing walls on a house. We were building it ourselves. And the truant officer from the school in that area come up and asked us if our mom and dad knew where we were, because we looked so young. And we had to show our ID.
You still do, sir. You still do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm 57 now, so that's been a minute. I wound up joining a church and getting married and moving up to Washington. And I lived in Washington for 7 years and started my own business when I was there. And then I moved to Arkansas and I lived there for 25 years and had my own business. And I gave up my business for a couple years because I was having trouble keeping it together. And after I'd been there a couple years and only like a 17-cent raise because they were all greedy and stuff, I wound up going into business with my son. And we started doing a little, whenever I started making rings, he was a teacher in school and he was showing his coworkers the rings, and they told him that he needs to put up a vending and start selling my rings. So that's how that started. And I was actually making some money on some of the rings. The most I've sold rings for was about $240 for a ring. And they were going pretty good. But they don't sell like that no more. I just don't think I'm the salesman my son is. But anyway, now I'm down here in Florida and I haven't done any vending. I've only done a few times, but I just, I need to get back into it. I really need to. I need a little bit of tips and encouragement and all that. I stay pretty busy working and I just got to find the time. So.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. Is it's tough. Like, being an artist and having to pay the bills and eat and have a roof over our head and all that kind of thing. And there's a lot of artists that are kind of in that middle ground, right? Where they hold down a full-time gig. And then they do his art as often as they're able to. But then that's kind of why I was saying earlier, the more folks we can get to support folks like you means the more time you get to spend doing the art and supporting that community, and the less time you got to spend doing the other thing that you don't like doing as much that actually pays the bills.
Yeah.
So we'll repeat this again, but do you do commissions? And even if you don't do commissions, how do people get in touch with you and all of that information?
You can DM me and ask me questions. I do commissions. If I actually love to do this. If people come on my live and they can design their own rings, I can show them all the colors I got, and they can come up with their own design, and they can watch me make them.
Right on.
And
right on.
And that's happened a lot of times. In fact, after I've made the rings for them, sent it to them, they tell me they feel so good when they put my ring on. It's like they act like it's magic, you know, because it makes them feel good to put something on that they watch me make, and they know that I did it out of love. It's, you know, I think about them while I do it, and, you know, send them good vibes, you know, if you would. You know, I mean, I care a lot about them. And
Yeah.
it means a lot to me.
You know-
When I made Haley's ring, I was definitely thinking about her whenever I made her ring for her. She means a lot to me. She's a good little girl.
You know, the interesting thing about that, man, is Ash and I have had a conversation similar. When I would do custom pieces, furniture, whatever it was for clients, it was always a back and forth. We'd have phone conversations or video conversations or whatever, and I might get to various stages and be like, okay, do we want to leave this knot, or do we want to, you know, do we want to use this piece for this section, or do we want to use this piece for this section, right? And it really there's a downside to doing that too, right? But the upside to doing that is some of the pieces that you end up with at the end are really special. And they're special to the person that they're intended for, which is what is important. That is where the special is on target, right? It should go with the piece that you're making to whoever it is for, right? It should carry some of that heart that you put into it all the way through. And yours definitely do that, man. And I'll take it a step further. We've talked about not working on something if we weren't in the right headspace. In my case, if I'm not in the right spot and headspace, then I don't come down and start messing with the guitar that's down to its finer details, right? I'll go work on something that's a little in a rougher stage where if I mess up, it ain't as bad, right? So what you're articulating here is you are putting part of yourself into your work, is what I'm arguing here. Your deliverable is not just the ring; it's the effort that went, the passion and compassion that went into making the ring. And I dig that, man, because I think things that are made from a place that cares end up being much better things, whatever they are.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. But Ash, you got a thought on that, man?
Oh yeah, no, I feel the same way. I always put my best into something, and if I'm not feeling it, I don't want to put that energy into it either. So it's like, you know, you want to make sure you're giving your best and your best feel towards that. And I feel like that'll go into the piece and go to the person. So I want to make sure that's what's happening.
Absolutely. Now, Banjali, she designed one of my rings, and I called it after her name. I called it the Banjo Galaxy, because it kind of resembled the Galaxy gift that you get on TikTok.
Yeah.
And so I named it after her and the Galaxy gift. And then another one I did, I named after her. It was made out of black walnut, and I put sparkles on it, so I called it the Night with Banji. And that was Banji itself. It was really pretty.
Right on.
And she inspired me. And I definitely was thinking about her when I made it. And then I came up, there was another woman on here that was very inspiring to me. She was going blind, but she was very ambitious in life. She wanted to be independent. She didn't want to depend on anybody. She wanted to be able to, you know, honestly work. And her name was, on TikTok, was Siren Mermaid. And I made a ring for her with the colors of the coral reef. And so I called that one the Siren Song. And I've got a set of rings that's made in her honor. And then my daughter-in-law, she come up with a design with green and what's the name of the other word? is a really pretty wood. This one right here, she come up with this, and we call that the jaded J Road. It's got the green and it's got the I don't know. I can't think of the name of the wood in the middle. It's kind of a copper-looking wood. Anyway, it'll come to me in a minute. I'm over 50 now.
Hey, man, I got the gray beard, too. I'm with you, man. Sometimes I just wander off. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Yeah. No worries.
You'll come to me.
I don't see. That's the thing. I've been doing woodworking for 15 years, and or longer than that actually. And I don't know all the exotic woods because I work with the stuff that I milled around here locally.
Right.
Which in Western North Carolina is one of the most prestigious hardwood forests. That's why there's 5th and 6th generation furniture makers here. They came here for the hardwoods. Back in the day, it was a chestnut forest, and the chestnut blight killed them all. But let me ask you this: you mentioned walnut earlier. Walnut is one of those woods that absolutely eats me alive. If I've got to wear long sleeves when I'm sanding it, and a respirator or at least a mask. If I do anything sanding wise with walnut, I have to be protected. And I learned that the hard way. I was about an hour and a half from here, and we milled that log up, which means you have it all over you, right, with a chainsaw, and loaded it into the back of a pickup truck, and then drove it an hour and a half home. And I was covered in that stuff, and by the time I got home, my entire skin was red, like my whole body was red, like bright red, and I couldn't breathe. So walnut is one of those woods that, like, I think like 20-something% of people have a negative, like it really has a caustic reaction to them. Does walnut bother you?
It doesn't bother me. Now,
that's amazing.
You say that you say that about Walmart. Does cedar bother you?
No, cedar. I have a bunch of aromatic cedar that I milled up, and I've heard people say that cedar doesn't bother me.
See, my older sister nearly unalived because of cedar.
Wow. Whoa. I have a chunk of it I ride around with in my truck. There's a chunk of it from when I was milling. I just hacked a piece off and threw it in my truck because it smells nice, right? So it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, and I love the smell of walnut too.
Me too. Until my nose swells shut.
Yeah, I made a few rings out of sweet gum, and
he's freezing.
Along with maple, when you're covered with maple, sanded with maple, you can smell the maple, almost like syrup.
Yeah.
Another wood that's really, really funny. Have you ever worked with yellow heart?
Yeah.
Yellow heartwood?
Yeah. Yep.
Did you ever notice it smelled like a reefer?
I did not.
I didn't work with like a reefer.
I have a chunk that I'm using to put the marker inlays on a fretboard for a local guy here. And he cut the tree. If it's the same one that we're talking about, some people call it A.S.H, I think is how you pronounce it, or something like that. Yellow. There's a yellow and an orange and a. Oh, maybe you're.
A.S.H. George.
Maybe that's what you're saying. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of something different.
You'll smell the fruit out of the A.S.H. George, but no, the yellow heart, that's different. It's okay. It's a different
I have
stuff.
It then. Yeah, I'm not familiar.
It's really
with that,
pretty.
Man. Right on.
It's similar to A.S.H. George, but it's different.
Right on.
It's amazing because whenever I first started milling that stuff and carving it, it was amazing to me how gorgeous the wood would look. Even just a small piece of wood, you just start turning that and sanding it. And the more you sand it, it just I'm in awe when I'm doing
that. That luster emerges, doesn't it? Yeah, luster just kind of emerges.
I just lost myself in it, I tell you.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. You mentioned earlier that you had a difficult relationship, and you you probably wouldn't want to say this necessarily, but I don't know. But you were treated poorly for a lot of years.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And art is an escape for you. It's a way to
Yeah.
find balance and find some peace with yourself. And that's a conversation many of us have had too, that we all feel similarly, like what we do is our escape, and we're very, and in some ways that's why we're so protective of it, right? That is our space to go get some mental health. Right? Yet we do it live in front of other people. You know what I mean? So it's this weird trippy thing, right? Like you use art to find that balance and find that peace in your life, and it actually brought you to other people that you're now friends with and you consider your family and all of that. So tell us a little bit about how art became your release, you might say. Yeah, freak, exactly.
Obviously, I'd get into the wood and start gluing it and figuring out all different ways of doing things. I did watch a lot of YouTube videos to try to come up with my own style, but I love the different processes that I went through to get there. It was a journey, and I found my niche, and I stuck with it. I was always people trying to get me to do a whole bunch of different stuff, but I was like, I want to perfect one thing first. I want to get this right, and then maybe I'll journey into something else, because I wanted to be, right on. And yeah, I think I might have lost train of thought. But
No,
yeah, I would play my music, and I would work on my rings, and I would just concentrate on it. And I
it was your
found that there
escape.
was
That's what
people
we were.
who would, what? Yeah.
I'm sorry,
And
you
there
were
were
just
people
talking
that
about it
would,
was your escape.
it was my escape, yeah. And I found that there was a lot of people that would basically escape with me. I noticed people were watching, and they would literally fall asleep watching me. I know there's these channels that people turn on so they can fall asleep to.
ASMR, yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, and I
yeah,
think I know there were people that was doing that. They would come on the live, whether they would come in the live or just, like the window watchers or whatever.
yeah.
I know there's people
We
watching
lost
you that ain't showing up.
from the
And,
FYP. Yeah, yeah, of
but
course.
yeah, yeah. And and I've had people say, "Oh, I fell asleep the other night and I woke up and I was in somebody else's live." And I was like, "I didn't know you were there." But
Yeah,
they love watching, and I try to play, decent music. Most people love the music I play. It's pretty common. Um, and I try to keep positive conversation. And I love it when somebody knows what I'm doing and they can carry on conversation with people in the live whenever I'm too busy to answer questions. I love it when they do that. And Truly's been there for that. Cookies has been there for that. Haley Beth even did that for me a few times. Yeah, I loved it when she
yes.
came in. She's really good at that kind of thing. So,
What
and
we describe that as a flow state. That the reason we started using that term is what I was talking about earlier. That kind of weird area where we are actually working at our job, but we are live and people are watching it. Like you said, Ash and I have heard similar. People fall asleep and or come and hang out. That's the space we're trying to create, right? So that people have a place to be after work or whatever. But that that space people fill with whatever, and some people fill it with like it's their relaxation time. Other times it's artists that are working on their craft while they're listening to you or watching you or whatever the case is. And sometimes it's people that don't even know that are just hanging out kind of watching. But you too are creating spaces for people to feel comfortable in, you might say. And it
yeah,
also in turn makes you more comfortable with the world around you in a beautiful sort of way, right? The kookies of the world give you a boost when you need it, right? On those days when you're not feeling as great, you kind of realize there's a team of people behind you that are lifting you up. And I think that's amazing, man, because there's a certain amount of vulnerability that comes with what you've been through.
Absolutely.
And for you to be able to say, hey, I'm a guy, I was in a long-term relationship, I was treated poorly. Ash and Eve did a show a couple weeks ago about what courage is. And I'm ex-military, and there's a lot of connotations that people use for that word, and it's supposed to come with medals and ribbons and stuff. And I don't agree with that analysis of it. I think the more important bits of courage come in little everyday examples of people's lives. So I just wanted to take a minute and give you some props, man, for I know that you're an open book and that you do share with your audience, and you are open and vulnerable in that way, which just as a man, I'm proud of you for doing that, man. I think that it's amazing that you would step forward and be honest in that way, and frank, and speak about your experiences, because you've mentioned to me, and you may not say this to other people, so I'm going to say it. You've mentioned that you've had people contact you and say that, hey, I decided to stay on this earth because you inspired me. And Ash has had that happen. I've had that happen. Once you have a platform to where you're dealing with any number of people, almost pretty quickly, you start having things like that happen. And to me, that means you're touching people, right? You are connecting with them in some way. And that too is a beautiful result of the way that you approach your art, right? The way that you go about presenting your art and yourself and all of that makes people feel comfortable enough that they can reach out to you and go, hey, maybe I'll stay on this planet a little bit longer because there's dudes like that out there. And that's a great thing, man. That really is. And that's not an easy responsibility to take. The other side of that is living with the fact that people do what you ask. You're on a public forum and you say something, people act on it. That too is scary to me anyway. You got to be, it puts you in a position to where you got to be careful how you do things and how you say things.
Right.
Because people actually act on them. So staying positive is super important in that incident, right?
Absolutely.
And you managed.
There was a time that I was considering quitting TikTok because of some things that had been said that was negative about me in TikTok, and I was just about to go ahead and quit. And after I had heard it a few times from the friends on TikTok that how I helped them, I was like, I can't let these people down. I can't do that. I mean, I can't let people down. So I kept it on, and I suffered the persecution and all that, but I'm glad I stuck with it because it's just, there's a lot of real people here on TikTok. Well, there's a lot of fake too, but there's a lot of real people here on TikTok. So
yeah, I was on my way out when Ginn offered me the opportunity to come on and hang out for a while because I was burned out. I'd had some bad experiences and I was done. And I don't know. I'm glad I stuck around because I got to meet a lot of really cool people, create great bonds with people, and it's just a good community.
Similar, man. I've been in a similar boat where I just kind of fed up with it. You're trying to do a nice thing and there's always somebody with something negative to say. But pretty quickly, man, not that you asked for it, but if I had any advice for people that were in that situation, pretty quickly I learned just not to worry about it. Like they literally don't impact the day-to-day decisions or what we do or how we do it. What they did, ironically, the mod core that we have and the core of people that we have working together resulted from the haters. right? Like ultimately
Yeah,
banding together and teaming up to work on projects, pretty quickly you realize the people standing on the outside complaining about the way that you're doing things don't matter to the equation,
absolutely.
right? They're just noise.
Absolutely.
And if you don't pay attention to their noise, it doesn't matter.
It's over.
And you and I were talking
Eventually
about
they'll
this,
just
Trouble.
go,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you and I were talking about this. The world we live in is troubled. There are a lot of people in this world that have a legitimate need. And there are a lot of people in this world that are really willing to work really hard to help themselves. They just need a hand up. They just need a break of some sort, right?
Right.
And that isn't expensive. Right? That's something we can all do, is be there for a friend, be empathetic, be patient, be willing to turn the other cheek. Right? It's ironic to me that there are people that run around and profess to believe in a certain guy, but they're the last ones that are ever willing to turn the other cheek about anything. It's always been really ironic to me, without going too deep
I
down
agree
that
with
rabbit hole. But the reality
Exactly. Yeah,
is,
let's keep going there.
but the reality is that if you are doing something positive in this world, you're going to take some heat for it. And I'm glad that you persevered through that, because it's a real shame. I've seen people walk away, and I've thought about walking away because of the negative. Like, you know what I mean? You're a dude in a basement trying to build some guitars and interview a person once a week. How controversial can that actually be? You know what I mean? Like, really? Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
You know,
we got some T-shirts and some hats for you. I know that's real controversial.
I want that. I want to be part of your little cult there. I see you doing that. I love that shirt. I want to be part of your cult. Yeah.
You already are, my friend. You already are.
Oh yeah.
You know, my aunt was very good to me because I'm trying to crawl out of debt, right? My wife divorced me, and I actually got to get, she bought me out on the house, so I'm almost out of debt. But my aunt was so good to me; she let me stay with her until just recently I decided to go ahead and move a building by her realtor shop that she let me go ahead and put my wood shop in, and I literally stay in my bills all paid off, so I'll be financially free, and I'll be able to start over. So my life is gonna start over. It's gonna be a new beginning.
awesome,
so
man.
I'm excited about that.
That's amazing, man. That is fantastic. And I'm going to defend you a little bit, even though you didn't ask me to. You kind of glazed over. You said your wife divorced you. You were lucky to get away from our conversation. But I didn't want people to give the impression that this was the situation where the dude was doing something wrong and the wife had to divorce him. That's not what happened here, y'all. His wife was treating him very poorly, and doing things like gaslighting and being very hateful. Are you okay with us talking about this just a little bit, Trouble? Because I wanted to use it for an example.
Absolutely.
We were talking about the hater kind of thing, right? And this is the kind of behavior, right? So Trouble was telling me this story about, he was using this as an example of some of the things he's been through. And his ex asked their boys to come to dinner. And when they had dinner, she gave the impression to the boys that Trouble just didn't bother showing up, that Clinton just didn't bother coming. And what had actually happened is she never bothered to tell him about the event. And then when he didn't show up with the event, she badmouthed him about not being there. And that's what narcissists do. That's how manipulators operate. And that's the world that Trouble lived in for 30 something years or whatever it was. When he glossed over that earlier, I just wanted to make the point that this isn't a man that did something wrong. This isn't a man that mistreated his wife or stepped out on her or anything like that. This was a dude that was in an abusive relationship that got away from it. So is that a fair way to point that out?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, absolutely.
So one of the interesting things about you to me is that with what you've been through, it kind of informs the gentle nature that you have in the way that you deal with folks. The kind way that you tend to approach people with. And maybe some of that is because you've been treated like shit for so long. You know what it feels like to be treated poorly, so you go out of your way to be kind to people. Am I connecting dots that don't exist here, or is that a fair statement?
No, I think you're right. I feel like that I've always been kind of a mellow guy. I don't know if I've really, I've never really, I love people. I'm a people lover, and I like to see people smile. I love to see people laugh. I tend to get away whenever I hear somebody arguing. I don't want to encourage none of the, I'm not going to sit there and say fight, 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 that type of thing. I don't like fights.
Right.
I'd rather get away from it.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a peaceful person. Now, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything like that.
Well,
I just don't like it.
But you set a good example is where I was going with that. You set a good example of how, you could very easily be this bitter guy that hates women and all women are bad because of the experience I had with this one. I've met a lot of dudes like that too, right? I know a lot of guys out there that all of their problems are because of whatever woman was in their life. And it isn't the case. Their problems are because they made their own damn problems. And they blame it on whoever the other person might be. That and I just find it refreshing, man, that you have been through this experience, and instead of it making you bitter and hateful and vindictive, it seems to have carved you into this more patient, kind, thoughtful kind of fellow, rather than one that lashes out at people. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
And that takes some effort. I'm sure that took some work as a human being and some effort to find that balance. Because your art, you said, you mentioned to me in our conversation that your art is what gave you peace.
It did. It did.
And do you still feel like that's the case every day when you do art? Does it still bring that same peace to you?
Well, I kind of turned to karaoke now. I love singing, and I discovered that I can actually carry a tune in a bucket sometimes if I don't spill it, that is, And I like to do it while I'm working on my rings. I love to have 3 or 4 people in my live, and while they're singing, I'll work on my ring, and when they're done and it's my turn, I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll sing a song, and then we'll go. We do that just about every morning, and I love it. I have a few people that'll come on my live, and they'll work on their art while we're singing, and we get to show their art, like Cookie's art, and there's been some others that come on, and I love it when people come on and show their stuff. I really do.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
And I would be honored if y'all would come on just for a few minutes, if you ever have time. Stop by, show what you're doing, introduce yourself. I would love it. I feel like that would just really enrich all of us together. I feel like
Tell the people what time you're on. Tell the folks what time you're on, man.
It's really early in the morning. It's 5:30 Eastern Standard Time to about 6:30, and then I got to go to work from there. And I with me being in the shop now, I'm going to try to be steady on a certain day. Haven't figured out which day to be on in the evening. We are doing karaoke on Friday nights at 7. Me and some friends, we do that. Lynn Diabetes Warrior, whatever her name, however you say her name. We've kind of
It's at 7
collaborated.
p.m. You said 7
p.m.
Eastern?
Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. So we'll do karaoke for about an hour, hour and a half. Sometimes if we're having a great time, we'll just keep on going. So
Right on. Right
so,
on.
I mean, I have a lot of fun. So
5:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, people can catch you on doing karaoke, making rings, talking a little smack.
yeah,
And on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is right after Haley Beth's show.
yes.
Fridays at 7 o'clock is when I have a meeting every week. But that's Friday at 7 o'clock, y'all. Y'all can check them out then as well. Tell the people how to get. You said in the DMs, and just to be clear, you mean DMs on TikTok, right? If people want to reach out to you
Right,
for
yeah.
commissions or purchases.
Absolutely, yeah. And then they can also get in contact with me on Facebook or Messenger. You can send me your information on DM and we can talk the other way. If you want to get more personal and actually design your own ring in a personal setting, or you could do it on my live. You can pick out colors and design your own ring, or actually you can pick out from what I have. I've got over 1,000 rings. And as it is now, I'm selling for about $45 a piece. So that's pretty cheap for now. But I've got a lot of rings. So
Right on. So reach out to him, turn on your notifications. Trouble is on, for those that would like to know, is Clinton Hackett. Trouble is on at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time every morning, weekday mornings, right? Because I know I've seen you on before, like when I'm on or getting, when I'm getting off, when I used to be in the middle of the night, kind of. I still am, but I just not as much. But,
yeah.
So check him out early in the mornings. It's a good way to get started. He's singing songs. He's turning stuff over there. And then on Fridays at 7 p.m., you can check him out on the TikToks as well. Ash, man, I like to end with your thoughts with the guest, man, because I've been talking most of the time. So I know you got some observations to make here, sir.
Well, every time I've run into trouble, which sounds funny,
Yeah.
he's been
If you're looking for
genuinely
trouble.
kind, nice, a cool dude, and like you said, very chill, very, easygoing. And I really appreciate your presence on TikTok because we need more of that here. So that's, kudos to that. Plus, your rings are amazing. So,
Yes.
like I
If you
said,
weren't
we
such
need
a
more of
jerk,
that.
man, if he wasn't just such a jerk, Ash, man, if he was a little nicer guy, man,
Exactly,
Trouble.
Mondo. Star Wars fan.
Uh,
And a Star Wars fan.
Mondo, we were talking about you earlier, showing off your art, man. And if Techie the kid's still in here, Techie, good to see you, brother. Raven, what is up, Raven? Trouble, is there anything we were going to talk about today that I missed, that I didn't get us to, man, or that we skipped over that you wanted to mention?
I don't think so. I think we hit all the points. I think you did an excellent job. You're an awesome introvert.
Thanks, man. We got a great team over here of people, man. I actually, like you were saying, man, we actually care. We actually care about our guests and the people that are going to be on, and we're in the game long term, man. What we will do is after this tonight, I will download this show and have it over on the Y-tubes, and it's your show. So you can chop it up, do whatever you want, take pieces out of it. We're going to do if you would, please go and check out this man's stuff. He does karaoke. He sings to you. He turns wooden rings. He does other stuff. He makes some other stuff too. So please, please, please go put your support behind Trouble. Don't let the name confuse you. He's actually a good dude. It's ironic. The name is ironic, y'all. Trouble, it was our honor having you on, man. You got my number. You know how to get in touch with me. Should you ever need anything, you know the deal, man. Hit me up.
That's awesome.
We really appreciate you coming on, man. Please keep up the great work in the community. You have people that love you and support you, and that's wonderful, man. And we need more of that. We need more folks out there that, you know, everything ain't for everybody. Find your people and support them, right? That's it. Like, you don't have to be negative to anybody else to support someone. Just go support them.
Yeah.
And whoever you were out there being mean to Trouble, you're an asshole. Don't do that no more. Trouble. Hey, what's your favorite color, buddy?
My favorite color, red.
Red.
Yeah.
If y'all would, y'all know what to do. Eve, if you're still in here, get my screenshots for me. Y'all please drop some red hearts in the chat for our good friend Trouble. Please make sure you support him. If you see him out and about, join him, sing some karaoke, talk some smack to him. He's got a good sense of humor. And please get some screenshots, y'all, of all these hearts. Trouble, on your way out, man, you want to shout out some of your people?
Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Joe Townsman. He was talking about the headband I made for him. That was awesome. It meant a lot to him and me also. And Haley Beth, of course, she's awesome. Mondo's art. I still have your artwork here, and I look at it every day. And I think about my friends. And I don't know if Cookie's out there, but I think she's probably asleep. It's 3 or 4 in the morning for her. And of course, I think Bonjali Dunn went to sleep, but shout out to her. Everybody loves her. I don't know anybody that don't care for her. She's awesome. There's so many here. I love Truly. She's an awesome girl. Stitch, I've got to talk to her a few times. She's she's a wonderful person. And you and Ash, man, you're my new friends. Well, I've known you for about a year now, but you know, you guys are awesome. I'm glad to know you guys, and I hope we continue to be in contact. And I am looking forward to meeting new people. So I
absolutely, you. Man. I too look forward to what the future brings. We'll be checking in on you. I'll poke my head in there one morning, man. Honestly, it's 2-part, right? And you may have the same thing. For one, I'm just busy, man. It's difficult to make enough time to go just kind of hang out. You know what I mean? And 2, I don't want to be an intrusion. So I often don't go to people's stuff because I don't want to be like messing up their stuff. So thank you for the invitation. I will come by there one morning and knock on your door and see what happens.
That would be awesome. I would be honored. It'd be amazing. So.
I appreciate you much, man. We love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. If there's any ways that we can be of help, man, reach out to us. There's a whole team of people over here that think a lot of you, man. So thank you. Thank you for coming on.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So
and Eve sent me some pictures, which I will forward to you because in the video feed, you know, when you download the actual show, it doesn't have the feed in it. As you know. So I'll send you some shots that Eve sent me of your people with hearts in the chat. Awesome. And on that note, Trouble, get out of here, man. Go on, get Trouble. Get on out of here. We appreciate you, man. Look forward to talking to you again soon, Trouble. Thank you, sir. Take care, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir. I'm gonna y'all got him already. Hey, look, while you got me in the big screen, feel free to go over to Ashman's Basic Art Store. He has these. He has Ashman's Basic Cult. He's got stuff like throwing up zombie cupcakes. I mean, where the hell can you get a zombie cupcake vomiting candy other than at Ashman's Basic Store? I would highly, highly encourage you to go over there and check that out. He has started a cult. Me and Ezra are members. I'm sure that Eve is going to join us. So hopefully some of y'all will join the cult. As soon as I get it in from him, I'll be wearing my Ashman's cult hat as a founding member. Even if that isn't the case, I'm making myself a founding member of it.
You are. Yeah, Jerry's a member.
So,
yep.
Jerry's definitely a member. And also, Jerry, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for coming in. Y'all, if y'all aren't familiar with Techie the Kid, Techie's been a guest on the show. Techie is an absolutely phenomenal artist, y'all. And he's a concept guy. He's a big picture guy, too. He always does collaborations with other artists and is taking ideas from people and making it happen. If you're not familiar with Techie, please give him a follow. Techie is a hell of a good dude. Appreciate you stopping through, Techie. Good to see you, man. All right, we're going to turn things over to Ashman. We're going to put him in the big box now because I like it better when he's in the big box. And we are about to rotate over into Ashman's Basics, and I'm going to mute my mic, and Ashman is going to take over the show.
How's it going, everybody? This is Ashman's Basic, or Basics. Basics. So today we're going to be talking about when things go wrong. Like that. I missed the wrong one. To turn the music down. So things like that happen, especially in art or, painting, music, anything like that. Writing. Things will go wrong. Things will go awry. And what do we do when that happens? Well, Kandinsky discovered abstract art by turning his painting upside down and noticing that looks pretty cool. So accidents, like Bob Ross says, you have the happy accidents once in a while. And those things are amazing. Alexander Fleming figuring out penicillin from an accident. You just need to embrace those moments. And sometimes when we're doing artwork, we make mistakes and we look at them as mistakes when really it's a learning curve. And sometimes those mistakes look better than the idea we had in our head in the first place. So sometimes that happens. There's this moment of change in our plans. And, raise your hands in the chat if you've made mistakes and learn from them. I know I have. I've learned from a lot of mistakes. I have a closet full of mistakes. It's become a running joke that thing holds everything. It's infinite because I've made an infinite amount of mistakes. And that's fine. That's what we do. That's how we learn. That's how we move forward. And in a lot of ways, this is the same thing as block, like creative block. Walk away from it for a minute if you've made a mistake. Walk away. Take a breath. Do something different, and then come back to it. And rework it. Don't push through it. Try and give yourself a little grace and a little time to come back to it. And the thing is, besides just walking away, it's like writer's block or anything like that. Lower the stakes. Lower the stakes. It's just artwork. And give yourself the ability to create the silliest thing you can. Just kind of give yourself that break and create anything you want, which comes to like the idea of serendipity, right? Where things happen for a reason. And with serendipity comes sometimes genius. And and they're accidents, right? They're accidents. And that's amazing when you could see the beauty in an accident. Create ugly art. It's okay to create ugly art. Create it, embrace it, have fun with it. And we want to do that. We want to do that. We want to go out into the world with that idea to create whatever comes to your mind, but never let a mistake hold you back. So my idea of moving forward is embrace the joy of your art or of your writing or of your music. Embrace that and don't take yourself so seriously that you can't have fun. Now, Bob Ross said happy accidents. And I had seen him a couple times when he was painting, and he made accidents on the canvas. And sometimes they turned out better because of it. And I know this for a fact. When I'm cartooning, I make mistake after mistake while I'm cartooning, because cartooning it's not a bunch of lines. It's not a ton of lines. You have to work within a small amount of lines. So every line is economic. It's one little line. And if you make a mistake, it doesn't look right. But sometimes when you do it weird, the features come out different. And you might surprise yourself. I've had accidents on the drawing cartoons where I've made myself laugh because it came out better. It came out better than I had in my head. And that's the thing you have to remember. Stay loose. It's just a journey. Sometimes when you take the wrong turn, you go down a beautiful street on a sunny day, and you wouldn't have gotten that if you hadn't made the wrong turn. And I think that's wonderful that we live in a world where we can make mistakes, and it's okay. It's okay. Just give yourself the break and say, it's okay. And that's my take. That's my basics. You're mirrored, man.
Yeah, dude, I don't know how to undo it. Let me see here. Oh, man, that sucks.
Embrace it. It's funny.
There we go. There we go.
There you go. Create ugly art. Exactly.
That's what I got today, y'all. You make an interesting point, though, right? I was thinking about some of the stuff I've built over the years. Not the stuff that was commissioned or whatever, but just ideas, and how one little knot or one little grain sway or one little thing in the wood completely changes what I end up doing, because you wanted to feature that or it not be seen
right?
Yeah. And the willingness to make mistakes that creating ugly art, that statement, what that says in the back of my brain is that eagerness to be willing to make a mistake. And that's a really interesting point, right? We've had this back and forth, right? I used to work on jet engines. And if you work on airplanes, there's not a lot of margin for error. One of those falls out of the sky, bad things happen. But if you're painting something, unless you need to sell that particular painting to eat, it's not life or death. You know what I mean? And keeping things in context sometimes is very helpful, and that makes a lot of sense, because we want to take that seriousness and that as Eve was talking about, that pursuit of perfection. We don't want to lose that. But we have to have the understanding that you will never arrive at perfect. It doesn't exist.
No.
Unless it's number 72, then that's the perfect number. But outside of that, glad you're not flying tomorrow, Jerry. But so creating ugly art, being willing to make mistakes, being willing to be wrong, in a way it helps you to grow as a person and as an artist.
Yes, absolutely.
Right on, Betty. Yeah, I was a jet engine mechanic, and then I was a crew chief on fighters. So plane flying around with a bunch of bombs on it, you don't want mistakes being made.
Exactly.
Just like
Exactly.
you just don't want to make mistakes. So man, what we got coming up this next week? What you got? What you got coming up? Any big plans on moving things or anything like that?
No.
Did any of that happen?
Yes. All morning.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I've got bags under my eyes from travel.
So it's official. You've been up for 3 days now.
Yes, 3 days. Yeah. That's how I roll.
Well, I will say this. We've been doing more lives, starting to figure out this studios thing and all of that. So look for more. Are you going to be doing a live tonight, or are you going to finally get some rest?
If I get a nap, I'll do a live because, so turn on your notifications. I might show up. I might. I probably will.
And that would be
can't
probably
stay awake.
like midnight-ish, maybe
Yeah.
Arizona time, something roughly.
Yeah, probably around there. Midnight to
All
1
right.
o'clock. Captain Midnight. Yeah.
Yes, Betty Jean, we love you back. Captain Midnight. I love it. Next week, we're going to be doing a panel discussion on an idea that Haley had, which is how to price your art. I may have someone in mind. Ash and Kira are going to be leading that discussion because they're veterans and they understand it and have some good ideas. And because Laura is shy and quiet, and she could do the same thing, but she don't like to be on camera. So she'll tell me what to say behind the scenes so that I'll have something intelligent to say while Ash is. But I was also thinking maybe if he's available, Jersey Art Dad might be good to have in that conversation too. He did
Philly?
it when he did.
Philly Art Dad?
I'm sorry, I said Jersey. I was thinking Eve. Philly Art Dad. My bad. Please don't come after me, Philly. I just misspoke. I'm not trying to take your guy. It's all good. I was thinking about reaching out to him too to see about maybe bringing him over here if he's available. He may or may not be. I don't know, but he talked some about that when he was on too. So I believe, or I'm misremembering. Who knows? So I will try to make that happen. Mr. Coleman, good to see you. Good to see you. Speaking of folks that do interviews out there, I would highly encourage you to go support that man right there. We were talking about him, and we were talking about Rick the Muse earlier, and how important it was for people to be doing different types of interviews, different times, different ways, because that only helps artists. The more ways they have to think through presenting their stuff, the more ways they have to think through their art and their process, the better it makes them.
Absolutely.
So if you get a chance, go check out what Mr. Coleman's got going on. I also did not know that Mr. Coleman is a part of the CP community, which Haley taught me the other day. I had no idea. So very interesting, good guy to support. So do that. Ashman.
Yes, sir.
We also got a friend of ours, Severed Art, out there, who's
heard of
amazing, and she's been working hard, and you've heard of her.
Yeah.
And if you go to the Ginn Project spot, there's one. If you go to the Ginn Project spot, you can find those available that Severed has done. All you got to do is go to my spot, the Ginn Project, and they're available there. Severed has listed them, and all of the tax and shipping and all of that stuff is included. So the number that you see on there is the number that you see, and they are available. There's only a handful, and when they go, they're gone. She's making them one off, so when she gets one done, that's it. So anybody that's interested in supporting Severed, please do that. You can go over to the Ginn Project page and find her work over there. It's available now. right now today. And if you're interested at all in supporting the Ginn Project, you can go into my profile there, and there's a wiki linky thing. And if you click on that, there's something called Live, Laugh, and Offend. And that's the fellow that makes the hats and the shirts and stuff for me. And our friend in the chat, Rachel, has set up a website. We're going to be making some announcements in the next week or two about that. She's created some merch that is revolved around the Ginn Project Show, and we got some more stuff coming on that, and we got some forgery packs coming out and some other stuff that should be fun. And I don't know if Rachel was in here earlier, but Ashman has got Sneaky Cat, a line of guitars. And Ash, do you have it available? Can you show us the one again? That a person in the chat might be helping us out with when she's able to. Yes, dude, the Sneaky Cat guitar. I love it, man. God, you did that in one sitting, and that is going to be an image that will be available. That goes along with this guy.
Yep. It'll be on your guitars on the very back where the guitarist will know it's there, which is why it's called Sneaky Cat. Nobody will see it but the guitarist.
Yes. And that guitar behind me is going to be the first one that Ashman does. It'll be going to him very soon.
I cannot wait.
Sneaky cat, what are they feeding you? There she goes. So Ash, usually what we do is we show some art and we play some music. Are we doing that today? Or are we just dropping the mic and walking off?
We'll do it.
We'll do it?
Oh, yeah.
So thank you, everybody, for coming in and supporting Trouble tonight. He's a really good dude. Really enjoyed having him on. You guys are all amazing for making this happen. Techie, you're always welcome, man. We're always glad to see you, dude. I know you're super busy, though, brother. Rebecca, really good to see you. Rachel, thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Rachel is handling all the merch stuff related to the Ginn Project Show. So look for stuff coming from Rachel. If you hear her talking about it, yes, I know, like, I know she's doing that. Freak, thank you. Mondo, man, we love you, brother. Always good to see you if you're still in here. Thank you, Mondo. Volta Agency, Ezra, he's all right. Betty Jean, we love you. Rebecca, we love you. Good to see you. Who am I? Eve's Artistry. Stitch Woman. Stitch. Love you, Stitch. Mr. Coleman, if you're still in here, thanks for coming in, man. Good to see you. Betty Jean. I think we covered most of the folks in Techie. Appreciate you. Thank you, Freak. Appreciate you, man. All the folks that are mods, all the people that work behind the scenes to make this show possible, we really appreciate y'all because you also help us out on our regular lives too, which is awesome. Oh, yeah. So thank you, everyone. Please support each other. Please support Trouble and the other folks out there. And look forward to seeing you next week when we talk about how to price your art.
Nice.
That's all I got.
All right, man. Let's
you got anything?
Show some stuff off.
Bob Not So Ross. One of Trouble's favorites. Appreciate you, Ash. Love you, brother.